All right, so now in this lesson, we're going to be digging into our trading history, our the trading history from the past 6 months or whatnot. And this is more of a reflection rather than a technical kind of breakdown. We're going to be focusing on the technical analysis of your previous trading history in the next section. This is mainly reflection because we want to put this in the past, but we want to analyze it and reflect on our previous journey. So let me talk a little bit about it, right? So reflect on trading history and the journey of it. So here are a few things to talk about. A general reflection. So your homework here is to do a general reflection, to sit down and really just think about your journey so far, whether it's 6 months, 4 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever it is. Specifically, mainly focus on the last 6 months because, in my opinion, that is the most relevant. It's the most present, it's the most current information, right? And these are the types of things that you can ask yourself. As an example, right? This is just thinking about it. So, why are you even learning to trade, right? So that's a very important question that you have to have the answer to. Why are you learning to trade? Why do you want to succeed in trading, right? That's probably one of the initial reasons that drove you into trading in the first place. Come back to that, right? Come back to that reason. Why are you learning to trade? Write it down, right? Get a very good, compelling reason of why you're actually doing this. Because there's many other career choices that you can choose. Why trading? Why is trading the choice that you're choosing for your path, right? Figure that out. The next thing that you can ask yourself is, what were some major trading challenges that you faced, right? So this is, again, where you reflect, have like a little meditative practice when you do this and reflect on the previous challenges, right? Maybe you've experienced a stretch of drawdown during 1 month or so where you took 6 trades that were losers. What did you experience during that time? What did you feel during that time? Was there something happening in your day-to-day life that potentially affected your trading history, right? Because it may not be the trading results themselves. It could be something that is happening within your life. It could be an event that is happening within your life that is potentially causing you to lose money, right? So reflect on those lessons. See what comes up, right, from that experience. Try to get as much information, as much data from your past trading history, right? Now, emotional swings. Have you seen any emotional swings within yourself, either the big lows because of drawdown or even the big highs because of massive trades that you've taken, right? What are the emotional swings? How are you dealing with them? What works, what doesn't, right? What, from your experience, what has worked, what hasn't worked, right? When dealing with your emotions, as an example. Reflect on that. Write a few things down. What about major periods of drawdown? Any high points in the journey? What can you get from there? What about the 3 most impactful trading lessons that you've learned, right? So when you're reflecting back, what are some of those major trading lessons that you picked up from the past? Maybe some rules that really worked, some guidelines that you really enjoyed, right? And what hasn't worked, right? Maybe you're starting to notice that emotional trading is not working. Maybe when you're making this specific decision, such as exiting positions, discretionary exits, maybe that is not working for you. Maybe you find that it's stressful looking at the charts all the time, and that is not working for you because whenever you're at the charts, you're overwhelmed, right? Maybe you have to simplify that process a little bit, right? And gain some wisdom from that. So this process, this reflection on the past 6 months is mainly for you to get as much information as you can. Lessons, things that work, things that didn't work, and also the way things made you feel, right? It's extremely important. And one of the last things is appreciate how far you've come so far, because when you do this process and you go through these points, such as why are you even learning to trade? What were some major trading challenges that you faced? Emotional swings, what happened within them? Major periods of drawdown, what did you learn from them? Any high points in your journey? 3 most impactful trading lessons, right? When you start reflecting on all of that, you're gonna get a list of things that worked, things that didn't, things that you enjoyed, things that you didn't enjoy, right? Try to get all of that And do it without actually looking at your trading history, without digging into the trades, because that's what we'll be doing into the next section. This is more where you just sit down, you think, you brainstorm, you reflect on your journey. Because what we're going to be doing within this trading blueprint is, once we get this information and we get these lessons down, we reflect on the past. And then in the next section, once we do the technical breakdown and actually refine our trading history and see what else we can gather from that by looking into our journals, by looking into our analysis and into the past trades that we've taken, because that will be totally different than this reflection. But once we do all of that, the idea is to get as much information as possible from the past and then leave it in the past. Forget about it, get the things that worked, the things that didn't, get the wisdom from it and then leave it in the past, because the trading blueprint is for you to develop your own trading personality, your own brand new trading plan that's going to take you from this current lifestyle that you're living to the lifestyle of your dreams, right? So the past does not matter after you do these points, right? If you sucked and you had a really bad time, it doesn't matter. Try to get as much information as you can from it and then move on. Move on to your new trading plan. This is what I want you to do. So again, this is a reflection. Those are some of the questions that you can ask yourself. And then at the end, I'm going to finish with this. Find all the positives, because we can look for those negatives over and over and over and over again and again. What you focus on, you manifest, you reflect. So if you consistently focus on the negatives, if you consistently look for lessons and focus on the failures, again, what are you creating for yourself? What are you feeling within, right? When you're digging into all those failures, when you're consistently trying to find failures and lessons, right? I think you got to do that. But this is what I'm saying. Do it now. Find those lessons now and then leave them in the past. Focus on the new self, right? So this is kind of what we want to do here. We want to leave this in the past, but first we want to get as much information as possible. So the last thing, find the positives, as I was saying. What is it that you enjoy about trading? What do you enjoy about it? Write down everything you love about trading as well. That's the exercise. And what you focus on, you will manifest. So again, once you go through that, I want you to focus on the positive lessons, everything positive that you've learned from trading, maybe how to deal with your emotions, maybe realizing that you have limiting beliefs. They are all positive lessons. Remember something that I always say that takes every single failure into a positive. Every failure is a learning opportunity, period. All of a sudden when you focus on that every single failure, there's some kind of lesson in it, some kind of learning opportunity, a chance for you to change your perspective, as an example, right? They're all positives. Those are all good things. And this is where we want to be. We want to be focusing on that. So that is it for this lesson. Quick summary. Reflect, brainstorm, meditate on your past 6 months, primarily focusing on the last 6 months, and try to pull as much data from your mind that you can. The emotional states, what worked, what hasn't, and so on. Try to gather it all, write it down, and now you're going to have all the major lessons that you can think of in the first place, right? So lessons that you can think of. In the next section, we're going to be actually doing the journal review, the technical journal review, where we'll get more lessons from the past performance when we actually dig into the journal and dig into the trades themselves. But that is it for this lesson. This is a reflection. It's extremely important because we want to leave this in the past, but we want to bring the positive lessons with us into the future and into the present. That is it for this lesson. I hope you enjoy it, and very important exercise. Make sure to do it, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Take care.